Week 14 of the NFL season is here, and with that, the playoffs are right around the corner. Let's see who has the upper hand with the Week 14 edition of the NFL Power Rankings, brought to you by the Upside Sports Network. Welcome back to the Upside. My name is Michael. No honorable mentions this week, so with that, let's get right into it. At number 10, we have the Baltimore Ravens. Ever since Week 10 against the Miami Dolphins, they've been on a slow, downhill roller coaster. Lamar Jackson has not looked the same from his MVP form earlier in the season, and we've seen he can't handle the blitz. Every time a blitz comes, ever since that Miami game, all he sees is what's in front of him and not the receiver that's wide open down the field, let alone the one in the flat or how to escape under pressure. It seems pressure is what's getting to Lamar, so we'll see how he handles it going forward. At number 9, we have the Buffalo Bills, a tough loss against the New England Patriots where Mac Jones only threw 3 passes the entire game. Bad weather game, so I understand all the Bills fans out there are already telling me in the comment section, hey, hold on, we're better than this, it was a bad weather. Well, the other quarterback still only threw 3 passes and you still lost. I'm wondering, when is this Bills team going to turn it around? Is Josh Allen going to start shaking off the rust and playing like the MVP he should be? We'll see. At number 8, we have the Los Angeles Chargers. Just as I told y'all last week, I thought Justin Herbert was an exceptional quarterback, but it looked like he was injured. Seems that he's coming out of it and starting to play like the exceptional quarterback that we know him to be. We see him making tight throws into tight windows like we saw on 4th down last week against the Denver Broncos. Let's look for him to continue that progress. They still seem to have the reins on him a little bit because they're still a rhythm offense. They really need to push that ball down the field. So we'll see as Justin Herbert gets further into his career if they continue to do that. But for right now, we're looking at not the San Diego Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers are at number 8. At number 7, we have the other team from Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Rams. Now, they needed to make some adjustments going into this game, and according to Greg Cosell, they seem to have made them. But again, let's take everything with a grain of salt. They were playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. They lost Robert Woods, and Van Jefferson seems to be stepping in to his role in the offense. And Odell is finally being used as the X receiver going down the field making plays. So that seems to be turning out all right. The additions on defense are working themselves in, so we'll see how this goes. But for now, number 7 is as high as we can go because the other team in the division, the Arizona Cardinals, are just outclassing them in every way. How about them Cowboys? At number 6, we have the Dallas Cowboys. They're getting a little bit healthier. They had a better performance this past week against the New Orleans Saints, so we'll see if they can continue that momentum. Healthier team. Ezekiel Elliott seems to be getting a little bit better. Tony Pollard had a little bit of an injury, but he looks to be continuing his progress on taking over that starting role in the backfield. And as far as the defense, DeMarcus Lawrence is back for his first game. Randy Gregory looks to be coming back next week. And we're looking at Neville Gallimore also returning on that defensive line. So as that defense gets better and better and better through health, let's see how the Cowboys move up in the power rankings in the final few weeks of the season. At number 5, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, and for one reason and one reason only, Chris Jones. He has been an absolute monster. You saw how he played against the Dallas Cowboys a few weeks ago, and he's been on a tear ever since the acquisition of Melvin Ingram. What a change it's made to move Chris Jones on the inside of the defense and allow him to play his natural position and just maul interior offensive linemen all over the field. Patrick Mahomes has been inconsistent. They still don't have a running game on offense, and they really don't have an identity on offense. And surprisingly, in Kansas City, it's the defense that's been carrying them to this win streak. At number 4, we have the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick is back to his old ways, orchestrating that defense to greater heights. They were able to get rid of Stephon Gilmore and not even lose a beat after losing one of the all-pro corners in the NFL, and they look to continue that pace on forward. Mac Jones completed 2 passes against a division rival, the Buffalo Bills, and they still won the game, only passing 3 total times in the game. Now, there's one thing I really want to get into, the Tom Brady versus the Mac Jones comparisons. Is Mac Jones just as good in his rookie year as Tom Brady? Let's find out. Through the first 12 starts of their career, Mac Jones and Tom Brady both have winning records. Both have about a 65-70% completion percentage. Both have 16 touchdowns and fewer interceptions. Mac Jones having fewer interceptions. Mac Jones also has about 400 more passing yards in a pass-happy league, granted. Passer rating also goes to Mac Jones. So as far as rookie season, can we compare Tom Brady to Mac Jones? You betcha. And at number 3, yet again, we have Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady is still looking like the MVP of the league. Gronkowski came back and promptly scored 2 touchdowns in his return to the lineup. Now, Antonio Brown looks like he's not going to be returning to the team. They may even cut him entirely after getting suspended, pending criminal case against him for the vaccination card issue. But this team is still rolling even without him. They have 4 good receivers, 3 good tight ends, and their defense is finally rounding into form. The real question is, will their secondary hold up? They signed Richard Sherman during the season. They lost a couple corners due to injury at the beginning of the season as well. So let's see if that secondary can hold up. At number 2, the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers, and he's going to do Aaron Rodgers type things. In his last game against the Chicago Bears, he says, "I own you." And he does. 22-5 is Rodgers against the Bears. And I look for this game to be a blowout. And it looks like the Packers are going to continue being very high in our power rankings. The one thing I will mention is that their injuries seem to be healing, getting a little bit better. Bakhtiari looks to be coming back to the lineup. So we should see this Green Bay team get even a little bit better. But they're still at number 2. At number 1, the Arizona Cardinals. They just keep on rolling. Kyler Murray steps back into the lineup and promptly throws a touchdown to another returning player, DeAndre Hopkins. That connection seems to continue as it did earlier this season. Colt McCoy filled in admirably, as well as A.J. Green with their absence. But this team is still continuing right along that path. 7-0 on the road. That's an unbelievable record. They look to have a home-based schedule the rest of the way, so they should have a very good record going into the playoffs. They may even clinch the bye going into the next couple weeks, but they're still our number 1 team. Thanks for joining us here at The Upside. See you next time.